If you want to know the best methods to level up fast at endgame, you are in the right place. I spent countless hours testing and optimizing all of the potential best methods in the game, so ultimately I can give you the top 6 farming spots that will give you the best Lacrima gains per hour without wasting your precious time. Following these methods will let you earn up to a whopping 8 to 12 million Lacrima per hour to level up fast and an immense amount of gold and high level gear for your crafting needs. Starting with the farming builds first. By now, you already know how good the Bard set is, especially for farming. The set bonuses it provides are simply a must-have to gain the most Lacrima possible per hour. It is critical to follow exactly what I have here in terms of greatsword skill tree upgrades, since every upgrade and skill was tailored to optimize the farming methods later on. If you're not a greatsword user, just follow the general steps that I'm going to show you in this guide and adapt the said methods according to your weapon of choice. For the weapon, use the best greatsword you have and any damage boosting trinkets that you might have. Keshta, as always, is going to be the main phantom for this build. And lastly, stock up a lot of flame resistance elixirs since you might need this later on. Talk to Dafrona and make sure you have allocated all of your soul stones to Lacrima multipliers to maximize your gains per hour. Surprisingly, the collapsed cave entrance spot retains its place at the endgame list, as I have covered this in my best top 5 mid-game spots. If you are just at mid-game, I highly suggest checking it, link in the description, or click the card here, especially if you're looking for the best mid-game spots. Start the actual method by heading to the nearest spider location and clearing it with a helm breaker and a full charge swift attack. Charge your javelin to the full and aim for the nearest large spider's head and quickly take it out. Hitting the spider's weak point will give you a spirit refund in return. Head back to Blade Nexus to respawn our targets. Fast and easy. Since this is a first playthrough guide, you can spam the javelin every run. You will be able to use the javelin once every 2 runs, so I will cut the large spider's Lacrima gains by half. Each run lasts around 14 seconds and nets you 1,800 gold and almost 8k Lacrima and 1,600 more Lacrima from gear extraction on average. So if this is done consistently in an hour, we are looking at a total of 450k gold and almost 2.5 M Lacrima. Pretty good gains even at the endgame, and this spot is potentially one of the best spots in NG Plus and surely will be covered soon. Another spider spot coming your way, and the poison water spot will require the player to clear a large spider and other small ones in the process. Access this location by progressing in the Refallen Mountains and accessing the poison waters nexus. The run is pretty straightforward. Head to the nearest large spider location and clear it with a fully charged Titanic Descent. Then not far from your location, take out the last 2 small spiders with a helm breaker and a fully charged swift attack and a mortal blow. Head back to the Blade Nexus to reset the run, rinse and repeat. Each run lasts around 22 seconds and gives you 2,500 gold and almost 14k Lacrima and 2,800 more Lacrima from gear extraction on average. So if you do this consistently in an hour, you are looking at 417k gold and almost 2.7 M Lacrima. If you are looking for more purple or unique gear from your crafting needs during the early parts of endgame, this is a good place to farm them fast and stock those purple materials as easy as ever. This is where the list goes spicier, and the Noble's Manor spot will take the spotlight. This spot will require the player to clear bandits in groups along with mini elites, so Lacrima gains will start to skyrocket fast. To access this location, access the side mission Birth of Evil. Progress in the area until reaching the Manor's Blade Nexus, and this is going to be our main starting nexus for this run. Now I do have 2 methods for this spot. Well, actually I do have 4 methods, but I scrapped the other ones. The first method is pretty straightforward, and from the Blade Nexus, take the nearest staircase and skip the bandit guarding it. Dodge the archer with normal dodge, or sprint towards the archer and bait the arrow away from you. Proceed to the inner section and notice that I targeted the second archer in the area and paused like 1 second to let the enemy regroup. Then 2 sets of fully charged with attack and mortal blows are enough to clear all of the required enemies for this run. Head to the Blade Nexus to reset the run, rinse and repeat. For the first method, each run only lasts around 23 to 24 seconds and nets you about 3k gold, 21k Lacrima, and almost 6k more Lacrima on average from gear extraction. Doing this method in an hour gives you 450k gold and a whopping 4.1 M Lacrima and tons of gear for your crafting needs. Also, if you decide to spam this method, you can use the same steps that I showed you so far, but clear the enemy with a fully charged Inner Fury for much easier runs. But since the Inner Fury requires spirits, you can only do this once every 2 runs. The second method adds a little diversity by including the mini elite in the area while taking out the other enemies for more lacrima gains. From the blade nexus, we will be doing the same steps that I showed you. Skip the archer by dodging his arrow and bait all the enemies near the second archer in this method. Pause for 1 second and target the second archer and do 2 sets of fully charged swift attacks and mortal blows to clear all of the enemies around you. Head to the mini elite bandit standing near the windows, and before you approach him, make sure you have full stamina. Do a fully charged Phantom's Knight's Veil opener and a Titanic Descent. Follow up with 3 sets of fully charged swift attacks and mortal blows to clear this enemy. Most of the time, your mortal blows are enough to clear the roaming rabid dogs. Once the elite enemy is dead, beat the nearest archer and head back to the blade nexus while getting the spoils. Now you might wonder, why not include the bandits in the next room? I mentioned that this spot has a lot of iterations or methods, but the methods so far that I showed you are the best ones in terms of hourly yields, so don't bother clearing the enemies in the next room. For the second method, each run lasts around 49 seconds to 51 seconds and nets you 8k gold, 49k lacrima, and 6500 more lacrima from gear extraction on average. Hourly gains will give you 600k gold and almost 4.1 million lacrima per hour. Pretty sweet gain right there, especially if you need the boost when starting endgame levels. If you're getting value so far, subscribe to the channel. Liking and engaging in the comments helps me a lot. Join our Discord server and discuss role-playing games such as this, and I appreciate your support. This is where the list gets even crazier, and the Imperial Palace Garden spot will take the top 3 spotlight. This spot will require a player to farm once again a mini elite demon near a checkpoint. To access this location, access the last level in the game and progress until you reach the Imperial Palace Gardens checkpoint. To start the actual run, head back to the room full of curtains to find our demon target readying to ambush you. Open the fight with a fully charged Phantom's Knight's Veil, and then follow up with a fully charged with attacks and mortal blows until it dies. But the main caveat of this spot is that this enemy tends to parry you, so there's a little bit of skill involved in this method. You are required to blink guard the demon's counter after the parry, then continue the combos until it dies. Get the loot and head back to the blade nexus to reset the run. Each run lasts for about 22 seconds if you manage to do the counters perfectly. This demon drops 3500 gold, 45k lacrima, and gets 8k more lacrima on average from gear extraction. So doing this method in an hour, expect 560k gold and a whopping 8.3 million plus lacrima gains per hour, which is a lot. But if you don't want to do parries but love to get more lacrima, the Great Garden spot is for you. This spot will allow you to farm the demon golems like a cakewalk by taking advantage of the exploding chaos crystals. This is by far one of the best methods in the game, but hold your horses, it's not the best of the best. If you follow the last spot, you've already activated the Blade Nexus for this run. Fast travel to Great Gardens to start the actual method. From the Blade Nexus, head outside to the courtyard and notice that as soon as I pass the staircase, I charge my javelin and hit the nearest chaos crystal. Head to your left and quickly sprint past the rubble and dodge the explosion. At this time, target the enemy and notice that the enemy is targeting you as well. But once the enemy got caught in the explosion, it will be stunned. After you dodge the explosion, it will lower its head. And quickly perform a Helm Breaker and a fully charged swift attack and a mortal blow. There is no need to execute the target since it will slow you down. The normal attacks are enough to bring the target down. Just in case you are wondering why you are dealing so much damage, it is because the demon's weak point is its head. The series of steps that I showed you were designed to make the demon perfectly align against you so you can hit its weak spots easily and consistently. If you are failing to deal damage, it only means that you are targeting and hitting the demon in the wrong spots. Just follow the steps that I showed you and you will be fine. Each run lasts only 17 seconds, which is nuts, and giving you a whopping 4k gold, 30k lacrima, and 7500 more lacrima on average from gear extraction. Do this method consistently in an hour and we are looking at 930k gold and an insane 8 million lacrima per hour. This is a lot, especially during your first playthrough. But the list is not over yet, and I told you it's not even the best spot overall. The Celestial Garden spot is by far the best spot overall in the entire game. This spot will require you to kill a Spirit Knight like a cakewalk by taking advantage of the same exploding stones in the previous method. The second method can even come close to this method since this spot will give you a whopping 12 million lacrima per hour, which is mind-blowing. Access this spot by fast traveling to the last checkpoint in the Imperial Palace and you are good to go. From the Nexus, charge your javelin and it needs to cost 2 spirit points. This is enough to trigger the chaos crystals for explosion. You need to be fast enough to do this or else the knight will walk away, losing you a few seconds. If you do this correctly, the moment you approach the knight, the crystal already exploded, also stunning it in the process, making the knight's back exposed to you. Perform a simple full charge swift attack and a mortal blow to damage the knight and execute it. It may take a series of practice for you to master this since the timing is a little bit tight. If you are hitting way less damage, it only means that you are not hitting the knight's back. Quickly pull off a brutal strike to end the fight and gain the spirit points back for your javelin rotations later on. Head back to the Nexus to reset the fight. Each run lasts around an insane 19 seconds and gives you 5k gold and almost 55k lacrima and 8k more from gear extraction on average. Doing this consistently in an hour will give you 914k gold and a mind-blowing almost 12 million plus lacrima in total. Truly one of the best spots overall in the game, and let me know in the comments if you want me to cover New Game Plus's optimal farming spots. But what if you are looking for the best mid-game farming spots? Click on these videos and I will catch you on the next one.